The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help." Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. The best minds are not in government. If any were, business would hire them away. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted, it belongs to the brave. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. Heroes may not be braver than anyone else, they're just braver 5 minutes longer. I've noticed that everyone who is for abortion has already been born. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things, he is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. If you analyze it, I believe the very heart and soul of conservatism is libertarianism. Recession is when a neighbor loses his job, depression is when you lose yours, and recovery is when Jimmy Carter loses his. Surround yourself with the best people you can find, delegate authority, and don't interfere. The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant, it's just that they know so much that isn't so. Politics is supposed to be the second oldest profession. I have come to realize that it bears a very close resemblance to the first. We should measure welfare's success by how many people leave welfare, not by how many are added. Freedom is the right to question and change the established way of doing things. We must reject the idea that every time a law's broken, society is guilty, rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for his actions. We must do away with the idea that every young man who is unemployed is a potential recruit for a gang. There are no easy answers, but there are simple answers. Government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives. Man is not free unless government is limited. You can tell a lot about a fellow's character by his way of eating jelly beans, LOs. The government's view of the economy could be summed up in a few short phrases: if it moves, tax it; if it keeps moving, regulate it; and if it stops moving, subsidize it. Above all, we must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. Peace is not absence of conflict, it is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. I know in my heart that man is good, that what is right will always eventually triumph, and there is purpose and worth to each and every life. We will always remember, we will always be proud, we will always be prepared, so we will always be free. The greatest way to help another human being is to help him help himself. America is too great for small dreams. We must reject the idea that every time a law's broken, society is guilty, rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for his actions. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things, he is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. The American dream is not that every man must be level with every other man. The American dream is that every man must be free to become whatever God intends he should become. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. You can tell a lot about a fellow's character by his way of eating jelly beans. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted, It belongs to the brave.